What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Amy. I am wrapping up 6 months as a day trader, and June will start me on my 7th month. Talking about Friday's recap, okay? But first things first. Amy's Trading Tribe down below, link in the description and the comments section. Come join us on Telegram. We trade live together. People sharing wins, sharing losses, sharing funny stories. We're a bunch of beginner traders, but there's some people that have been doing it for a while. And I think from my perspective, it's just a great group to have because number one, it's nice not to trade alone anymore. Like, this could be a very isolating type of deal, and it's nice to have people to talk to and maybe ask questions and, share charts, share stocks that are popping and things like that. So if you want to come hang out with us, feel free to check it out down below. Also, my day trading resources down below, and you can basically access all the books, videos, things I talk about on the channel that have helped me. Big mentor of mine is Ross Cameron, and I put several of his videos for technical analysis in the day trading resources. All you gotta do is just put your email in and save the link. It's a working Google Doc. So basically I'll keep adding to it, making changes, what have you. Also, there's a really good Mark Douglas video in there. He wrote The Disciplined Trader, Trading in the Zone. And there's this really good psychology video I found of his. It's like a part of a lecture series he did. Changed the game for me, okay, about caring but not caring, being in trades and basically leaving your emotions at the door. Realizing that, if you're following your setups, you're following your strategy, your risk management, all that sort of thing, and you have a losing trade, who cares, right? Like, probabilities is what we're playing here. Probabilities of getting in the trade and it going your way, for the most part, it's 50-50. So I loved that he just kind of like laid it on the line like that, and it's really helped me with my trading. So Friday's trade. So here we are at the end of the month. And, I kind of was like, should I trade today? I didn't have the chance to trade pre-market. I had some things going on. And I was like, I'll come sit down at the charts later in the day and just, see what's what. So I really didn't start looking for anything until it was about, I would say it was like 7:15 my time, so like 10:15 Eastern, so way after the opening bell. And there was a couple of stocks, it's kind of like looking at GPUS and IMNN and just a couple of things. The one that caught my attention was BLRX. And I was like, okay, it's not super high price. Like, we're not looking at SBET or something like that. So it just kind of fit parameters of what I trade, which is kind of with Ross Cameron's criteria: low float stock, price between $2 and $20, up 5 times relative volume, gaining 10% on the day. It fit all of that, right? And I decided to take a trade on it. Now, yesterday was the first day I bumped my share size up. So I went from, I think the first day of the week, which was Tuesday, 2 shares. Then Wednesday, I'm up to 10. Then Thursday and today, I'm up to 20 shares. And I was like, hey, it's time. Like, I'm doing some stuff, and I feel like, I've got more confidence in my edge, my strategy, and I'm making it my own. Like, I'm using Ross's tutorials and things like that to help me, but I'm making it my own by deciding like on different entries and exits based on my own trading style. So BLRX, was kind of lining up, and the thing that kind of got me today was there was a couple of times I almost jumped in this stock, and I would second guess myself, and I'm like, what's going on here, And it was kind of weird because I had everything lined up, and I think maybe I was just like, oh, it's Friday. And, if you want something a little too bad, like you want a good win, it can mess up your head sometimes. And I just, I think in the back of my mind, maybe I'm thinking like, oh, let's get a green week, or, let's get a green trading day, whatever. And so there was a couple times I didn't get in because, of course, there's that thought of like, well, what if I'm wrong, right? And the stock ripped like twice without me. And I'm like, okay, the window of pullback opportunities has greatly decreased. So probably after missing it twice, I should have just been like, nope, not going to take a trade today. But, there was another setup and I'm like, okay, like, let's go for it. I got myself calm and cool. I'm like, I don't care, whatever. However it goes is however it goes. So I get into my 20 shares at 720. Yeah, 720. And I was in the green. I went right to the green, but it didn't go up very much. And I'm like, okay, I'm in for 20 shares. I'm up like, I don't know, like $1, $1.50. And the actual per cents, per share was like 8, 10 cents, something like that. Cause I think the highest I ever saw it was maybe 7.30. And my take profit level, I think I had it set, the high of day was kind of far away at this point. And I knew that, we're in a little bit of a downtrend now. And so I kind of had moved it down to like 750 something. And it wasn't quite getting there. So I'm like, okay, let's move it down just a little more, a little more. And it still wasn't getting there. And then, it would flip flop. It was green, then it was flat, then it was negative, then it was flat, then it was green a little, and I was like, oh, this is just chopping me around, right? And, I had my stop in place and everything. I was like, okay, I think I had my stop at like 6.98. So I had like, 22 cents of leeway. And it got down there like 7.17, 7.15. And I'm like, you know what? This trade is taking too long. It's not in my favor right now. I'm either going to exit for flat, like break even, or it's going to end up being a tiny little win. So I was kind of hoping for, the break even or the tiny little win. So I ended up canceling my take profit order and my stop loss. And so that left me just, naked in the trade basically. And I was kind of waiting for a moment to exit and just sell at the bid. And it looked kind of bad. The MACD was crossed and it was, starting to go negative, and, the red candles are kind of coming down a little farther each time. I was like, you know what, let's just get out. Like, we're not going to try to wait for it to come back and hope things turn around. So I kicked myself out at 7.13. So it was only a 7 cent per share loss. I felt like I did good with that because all the warning signs were showing, and I was like, there's no sense in me waiting for it to hit my stop. Like, I just know at this point it's not going to go higher. So it was kind of fluctuating between, where I was break even, a little bit down, maybe up a penny or two a share. Like, the reward is gone. Like, there's just, from my perspective at this point, there's no chance really that this trade's going to turn around in my favor. So I felt like I did good. I mitigated my risk. I was okay if it had hit my stop, and like I thought a couple times it might. But it's again the gut thing I've talked about before. I was just like, it's taking too long. It's choppy. People are going to start selling off if this doesn't shoot back up, and it didn't. So yeah, I kicked myself out, and I think the thing ended up flushing to like 660 or something like that. It dropped quite a ways below my stop. So, of course I would have been stopped out at 698, but had I canceled like I did cancel and maybe not exited, it could have gotten uglier. So I'm good job on me, right? I did put that I could have taken profit at $7.30, but I got in at 7.20 and I was like, I've been working on trying to hold winners longer. And unfortunately, this was one of those trades where it didn't matter how long you held it. It wasn't going to go my way, right? So it is what it is. So that left me for the week 2 for 2. So 2 green, 2 red. Now, because I doubled my share size, Thursday I had like a $4 loss, and today was, what did I end up losing? $1.38. So actually I did really good today, mitigating that loss over 20 shares. But it unfortunately left me negative on the week, even though I had one larger green day, and then I had like an okay green day on Wednesday. And so I'm only down 66 cents on the week. Whatever, right? Like, I'm just like proud of myself because I've come a long way where I'm now able to increase share size without emotions coming up and taking bigger losses and then freaking out that, oh, it's because I took a bigger share size and now, I'm not comfortable with the actual risk. a lot of that has been cleared, and it's great because, I'm really working on the mindset stuff, and still, of course, focus on technicals. But I think anybody that's been a day trader for any length of time is aware and can see that if you have a handle on your emotions and your trading psychology, then you are already way further along than somebody who is an expert on the charts. Because how many experts are there out there who can't even trade? Like, they have all these predictions, they have all these correct analysis and things, but to actually, for them to go and enter a trade, it's like they have this mental block, like they don't do it. It's like, well, why don't you trade? But then you realize it's not just about the technicals, right? It's a mindset. They're scared of losing money or scared of being wrong, or whatever it might be. So just a tiny little loss on the week, 66 cents. Part of me, there was a couple things about today and yesterday that I thought, I'm gonna keep this in mind for next week. Number one, I traded different times, Thursday and Friday, and these were both red days. Now, it could be, just luck of the draw. It is what it is. I did have a 5 green trading day streak there for a bit. So I'm like, whatever, it happens. But the fact that I changed the times, yesterday I traded at the open, and today I'm trading, this trade actually didn't enter until 8 a.m. my time. So it was 11 a.m. So way later in the day. I think ultimately in what my statistics tell me is that I do better typically in the 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. hour my time. So that's 8 or 9 a.m. Eastern time. I just perform better, and I think it's because the type of stocks and the way that I trade, those setups just appear more obvious, and the opportunity is there. The stock isn't played out by the time I'm getting in later or something. It just seems to work better. So I'm keeping that in mind for next week. And what's going to happen is, if for whatever reason I can't trade pre-market, I'm just not going to trade for that day. I kind of thought about it today, because I just didn't have the time to. Maybe I should have avoided, and then it would have ended up green on the week, just a little. But I was like, that kind of comes back to ego too. It's like, who cares? If I hadn't traded today, I would have been up a whole $1.38 more. But you know what? I did trade today, and I learned some lessons, and for that, I'm okay. With my $1.38 loss today and my overall, loss of 66 cents for the week. But that was one thing I decided for next week. If I can't trade pre-market, I ain't getting on the desk at all. Secondly was, kind of just going with my gut. If I just don't feel like it's a good day to trade, sometimes I just wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. And sometimes I stay away, literally just take a day off, go work on other things, and it's great, so I'm just going to kind of lean into that. And I kind of had felt that a little bit on Thursday, but I ended up trading anyway. And, again, coincidence, who knows, red day, whatever. But it's just some of the things that I'm a little more hyper aware of that were different about Thursday and Friday, where I did have losing, trades. Again, luck of the draw, who knows? But unfortunately, I don't have the chart to show you guys where I was in. But this time of morning, when I used to trade large cap stocks, this most of the time you get chopped out after that initial first hour of the open, from 9:30 to 10:30. And really there's some days where you only have a nice window from 9:30 to 10 where the volume is good and things are moving and there's volatility and there's traders. And this time of day, trading at 11, I was like, well, it could go either way, right? And it just kind of, once I got in that trade and I was getting chopped around, I was like, no, I know better than this. This is not my playground, right? I do not like to put on a trade and, kind of wait for things to figure itself out. No. I resolved trades within 1 to 3 minutes. And since I've gotten better at holding winners a little bit, my winning trades have been about 2 minutes. And I have to check TraderView again, or ChatGPT. By the way, you can analyze your trades with ChatGPT if you have the paid plan. just import your trades. It'll tell me, you know, even down to the seconds, like what your average time spent in winners and losers is. So yeah, so that's a wrap for the week. Hope you guys are enjoying all my little stories. And yeah, it's just funny to me. I'm like, I feel like I'm just trading like super small still. But psychologically, I just wanted to come back down, scale down. Because in the very beginning, the first couple months of my trading, I was trading anywhere from 25, 50, 75 shares a stock. And those stocks were minimum, I think I was in stocks that were $30, $40, $50. So it's quite different to kind of switch gears, but it's working well. Like I really feel way more comfortable trading lower price stocks. I can buy more, right? So when I do scale up, it takes less capital. And I really like the fact that, you know, I can risk like 20 cents, but I might have an opportunity to make 40 or 50, you know, if the stock's really ripping. There was one day this week I got like $1.80 a share. I'm like, that's amazing, right? Like on a lower price stock. So yeah, anyways, that's the recap. Hope you're enjoying. Come check out Amy's Trading Tribe down below if you want to come trade live with us, hang out, have a support group, whatever you might need right now. Also my day trading resources down below. And there's an emotions tracker trader I'm going to start using. Put a link down to that down below as well. Basically just help me with the month of June, because I've been focused like really intently on checking myself before getting in and out of trades, and just kind of seeing where things are at, you know. And I think that that's helping me a lot. And also telling myself before I get into the trade, even like, do I care too much about how this is going to go? And if I do, I kind of take that second or two, just like, whoo, like chill. Like this is not life or death here, right? This is just trading and it's meant to be fun. So that's another thing to ask yourself, like, am I having fun? Because if you ain't, why are you doing it? So anyways, guys, hope you're subscribed if you're not already. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.